know what's a character I love? Fabius Bile. This isn't a secret for this channel at all. If you're a long returning viewer, you know this. I gush about him literally whenever I can. If you're a new viewer, you probably know this too, because of a recent collab I did with Mr. Bones 40k where I talked about him there. Hello, by the way. Sorry I've been spotty. My voice only literally within the past day or two before April Fool's started working. So I'm back. But you know what? I need Fabius back in my life again. If only there was a character that was so similar to Fabius Bile, but just a little more metallic. That's reductive, to be honest. Today we're going to be talking about Illuminor Szeras, the Necron cryptech who is ever working to unlock all those secrets of life in the most awful way possible. Thank you to all my channel members for making these videos possible, and a special shout out to Christian Voorhees for subscribing at the highest level. This level of support truly helps the channel, so it is greatly appreciated. Now, Szeras is what is known as a cryptech, which for those that don't know their Necron terminology, a cryptech is a person who's basically... So I may or may not have almost been wrong about this. I'll quickly correct it. A cryptech is basically a technomancer, engineer, scientist, people who work with Necron technology. Another way of looking at it, it's basically the equivalent of psychers for the Necrons. They all have different disciplines as well. Illuminor Szeras is specifically a plasmancer where he wields raw, destructive energy, and his specialization is specifically biology. He researches the secrets of life, and this is his specialization back in the flesh times. Now, everyone knows this. The Necron tier way back in the day were pretty bad. They had turbo space cancer, they had really short lives, everything sucked. He, obviously working with biology, he knew about this quite well. He was working around ways just to deal with this, studying it, doing all that. He was around right at the time when the star gods were found. Now, and another important note about Szeras is this is the guy that developed the technology for biotransference. Biotransference, the reason why the Necron tier, all their souls got put into their robot bodies. The thing that most Necrons are really fucking depressed about and are actively trying to undo. Obviously, he didn't just fully create this himself. The Catan actively gave him the knowledge to do so. He built it and added his own little flair. Though it didn't take a lot of convincing. It was really easy to get Szeras to hop right on this because he was immediately convinced with, oh, this is like the next step in our evolution. Tight, let's get into immortal robot bodies. Let's fucking go. And I think that really settles us in. It should be really hammered home. This guy is he's a little nuts. He's just a tad bit unstable. This is a fact that comes about when he has to deal with the other Necrons in other dynasties. That Fabius Bile comparison I made at the beginning isn't completely inaccurate, specifically in one key aspect. The fact that nobody likes him, but he's indispensable. Because on one hand, a lot of Necrons obviously don't like the fact that this is the guy that made biotransference. And also the fact he has zero remorse for it and he's pretty still gung-ho about it was a good idea, you're welcome. That, and he's very, very drawn to unlocking the secrets of life. That is his key goal that he's doing absolutely everything to unlock, a goal that he feels like he is directly standing right before the finish line. He just cannot take that last step. For some reason, there's a block. How does he try to unlock this mystery to life? Lots of dissections, like a lot. So Illuminor Szeras likes to go full like gray alien and abduct a lot of people. He doesn't like open warfare. He doesn't like big military engagements. He just grabs a bunch of test subjects, takes them to his like home ship, his home base, puts them into a stasis, and then molecularly deconstructs them molecule by molecule, just unwinding them. And if they start to get a little too screamy, he just turns his ears off because it's annoying. His favorite subjects? Eldar. He particularly loves harvesting Eldar. Yeah, he's fucking unhinged. The other thing he does, and the other reason the Necrons don't like him, he uses the data he gets to modify Necrodermis, because he finds all these weird Xenos creatures, and he's like, whoa, I found some weird ass spider things. What if I just mess with the Necrodermis and give us cool new eye lenses? Now we can see farther and see better. Some Necron nobles find this like blasphemous and pretty gross, because that's not our eyes, it's a weird spider eye. But then they're secretly installing it because it's objectively better. Much like Fabius Bile, Illuminor Szeras strongly has job security. He's a disgusting person, but also he's so useful to have on your team. Though that leaves us with, what is Illuminor Szeras working on now in current 40k? Well, he's currently teamed up with the Silent King, as the Silent King has convinced him that actually what he really should be doing is working with him to reverse the biotransference. How does he convince him of this? A thing he has long since said was a good idea, a thing he is responsible for. Well, that's up to you to figure out, to be honest. It's just mentioned that this happened in the 9th edition codex. So, there's not a book where this is like exchanged. Honestly, the only real argument that we saw, it's not even like a dialogue exchange, it's just that the Silent King told Szeras, like, you've been stuck for so long, my man. What if you just got the Necron tier back in front of you, and that's the last step you need to unlock the secret of life? And he was like, damn, that's a good point, I guess. I've been stuck this long. So now he's going along with it. Zero appeal to his remorse, obviously. That wouldn't have worked anyways. Which I think is the very important aspect to really hammer home around this character, is the fact that every other time I've talked about Necrons on this channel, I've always talked about these characters who have this deep inner sorrow, when on the outside they have this goofy exterior. Characters like Trajan the Infinite or Nemesis Zandrek are very funny and really entertaining characters, but when you dig down deep, they're really sad. The biotransference left them broken, and the Great Sleep left them worse. Szeras is just a little more unhinged, but there's nothing here implying that he's changed from biotransference. If anything, because he's an immortal robot now, he just has a little bit looser of morals. So yeah, that's literally it. There's not like the most lore on him. He just looks cool and he's awful. So yeah, if you like this, like, comment, subscribe, do that stuff, join my membership, and see ya.